Hey, what's going on, y'all? Sorry about that. It's your boy Los. Sorry how I look, if you even care. Just leaving the gym, headed to the store, some other things. Anyways, I was in the gym, and I've been talking to my wife about this for a while. As you see the title, I'm going to be transparent about something, something kind of is dear to my heart. Some people know I've made vague mentions about it before to others. But I just noticed, I told my wife about this before, I just noticed how things as of late getting much worse. So I just want to kind of be transparent, at the same time ask y'all for prayer. And I'm serious about it. So early on in high school and whatnot, my freshman teacher, or English teacher, she started noticing, freshman or sophomore, one of the two, started noticing that basically just that my reading was, lower than, my reading scores was lower than the other kids in the school or the class, and my comprehension skills was lower, and just it was a bunch of things that she just noticed that kind of startled her, and so she basically gave me a test. I'm not sure if she asked my family or not about it, but it's whatever. She gave me a test, and at the end of the day, the test came out that I was dyslexic, right? And so she sat down with my parents, and we talked about it and whatnot, and and this is no shade on my dad, it's nothing like that. But I get where he's coming from, being a father as well. Although we went to the Sylvan's Learning Center, and we did a couple other little things like that, but nothing rock solid, right? Nothing. I don't feel that there was this on his part. There was this, let's devote as much attention or finances as we could to getting Carlos the help he needs, right? It later came out that I also have OCD, and some other bunch of stuff. I'm weird, but ADHD is crazy. But basically, the attention wasn't there on his side, right? Once again, I get it, what I'm saying? Especially, and it's funny because I'm jumping around, I'm so sorry, but talking about mental health is a big issue now, especially amongst the African-American community, because, and you'll hear stories from other African-Americans. I watched a video this morning talking about it, where basically we grew up, and our parents grew up in the time where, saying that your child had a disability of some sort, and somehow, shape, form, or fashion made you as a parent look weak. You know what I'm saying? It made you look bad, like you wasn't, like somehow, some way you caused your child to have this disability, right? And I think in my dad's mind, my dad was he's not as prideful as he was then, but he was a very, very prideful, strong black man, and he never wanted to look weak amongst anybody. Definitely didn't want to look weak among his friends, his family, and amongst his kids, and family, his wife, so on and so forth. And so, I didn't necessarily get the help or the attention that I think I should have gotten. And so, because of that, by God's grace alone, I graduated from high school. I was in resource classes. If you don't know what those are basically the classes where everything is really slowed down for you, where you sorry about the sun, I didn't create it, but basically the classes are really slowed down for you. Your language classes are kind of taken back to like the Barney level, where it's let's start over. Same thing with your math classes and so on and so forth. It wasn't a short bus, and I definitely wasn't the guy who got out of school early, with the other class, but it definitely was just another class. So you had, math, English, science, biology, or whatever. And then like my sixth class was resources or study skills, maybe study skills, something like that. So I was in that all throughout high school. And so because of that, right? So because of the struggle I had through high school, I dreaded college, right? Didn't want to go to college. Had no desire to be in college because high school was so hard for me. And it's crazy, my classes weren't necessarily, looking back on, they weren't hard. It was just that as I'm trying to read the textbook, all the words are just jumping everywhere, right? And so for me, I was so frustrated that I'll just like, close the book, throw it down, bump it, forget it. And I would like purposely forget we had a test on Friday, or I would, basically just not do the homework, the assignments, whatever, not because I didn't want to, not because I was a bad kid or some rebel. It was just that it was just so difficult for me to stay focused, because I literally in a quiet room can do my homework, can make an imaginary world, and live in that world. And next, an hour has gone by, and I'm like, oh snap, it's time to go to bed. Well, oh well, you know what I'm saying? Schoolwork didn't get done again today, and I go to school next day, and I play oh no, we had a test today? I didn't know, I didn't study. And I didn't study because I didn't, I just couldn't, you know what I'm saying? And so high school was just terrible for you, boy. And then, sorry about that. So like I said, I skated through high school, and I skated so bad through high school that, no lie, on the day of graduation, right, my dad, it was hilarious, man. I got the cap and gown and everything. I tried it on. I'm looking cool, and my dad literally said, "Hey man, you sure you gonna graduate?" He said, "You sure they gonna call your name, bro?" Like, for real, he really asked that question, and it was one of them things where I was like, well, shoot, we find out together then, because I don't know. I don't think I should be walking this stage, but it is what it is. That's just real life. That's a real conversation my dad and I had as I'm getting dressed for graduation. And I don't think he was being disrespectful. I don't think my dad at this point was trying to be rude or downplay disrespect his son. That was a legit question because I struggled so hard. It was like, hey man, we don't look stupid. And it was funny is, man, this is so hilarious. During graduation, as they're calling the names and everything, I guess mine fell off the table. And so I'm standing there in line. This is real life, man. As I'm standing there in line, they called the ends, last name, and they called, the person right before me. And I'm like, cool, I'm waiting for next. And then they call the person behind me. And I'm just standing there, and kids are walking past me. There's only like one or two kids, but the point was, I could just see, he didn't say it, but I could see my dad saying, oh, I knew it. Sorry, a little side note. But anyways, so high school was just really hard for me. It was a struggle. And like I said, a lot of it had to do with the fact that I didn't get the help or the resources I needed in order to progress with this quote-unquote disability. I say quote-unquote only because I don't think everybody would see it as disability. Some people see it as just me being lazy or whatnot. I don't know. But anyways, and so then went through life for a long time without going to school, but it wasn't until the Lord saved me where I found enjoyment in reading again. I found enjoyment in studying, and I'm in the text, and my dyslexia causes me to have to really slow down when I'm reading the Bible. I have to really calm down. I have to breathe in, breathe out. Like I just talked to my daughter about it last night. Breathe in, breathe out. Get my thoughts together as I'm reading, and I have to really like swallow the word in sections. I can't just read the whole chapter and be like, bet, I got it. Nope. I got to do sometimes just line by line or paragraph by paragraph, whatever, but I got to take it in bite pieces just to grasp, which is beautiful to me because it allows me to really get a full understanding of what God is actually saying in the text. So that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I'm not mad about that. So then, so Lord saved me. I got into to get into the Bible. Then I went to school, went to college. I dreaded going to college. But once I got in there, and it was a subject, it was a biblical college, so it was a subject that I loved and really, really enjoyed, and so I progressed in that subject, and I progressed in school and did really well in school, in college, by the Lord's beautiful grace, and things went well there. But so I said all that to say, right? So sorry if I rambled, but now I'm much older. And I still, and it's kind of one of those things where I've always been able to get by, I guess, or found some way in my own way to slow the world down to grasp what's being said, so I can understand it, while nevertheless you guys probably not catching on, those that are around me at the time not catching on that I'm actually slowing it down in my mind and really trying to grasp it while staying in the conversation or whatever it may be, right? But lately though, just to be straight and very transparent, lately it seems that's harder to do. Lately it's in the last year, 6 months to a year. Been talking to my wife about this. She's been definitely praying. It's been really hard for me to stay focused when reading. It's really hard for me to stay focused when listening to people, listening to things, right? And so like if you ever sit down with me, right, we're chopping it, and I will hear you, but I'm looking everywhere around you. I hear what you're saying, and it come across rude, I'm sure, but it's not that I'm being rude. It's just that my attention is being taken away from you, but yet my ears are hearing everything you're saying, and then I'm able to still, be involved in the conversation. But my attention is everywhere. I'm looking at everything, trying to grasp and grab everything that's going around, grasp everything that's going around, and while at the same time I'm still trying to interact with you in the conversation. Like right now, I'm driving. I've been driving. That's why I do my videos when I drive. It's funny because although my eyes are moving everywhere and my mind is still going everywhere, I'm still able to somehow, some way, by God's beautiful grace, to stay focused in on the conversation, which is probably why I ramble a lot. Probably stop doing that. But anyways, but lately it's just getting harder, like much, much harder, and I'm getting more and more frustrated to the point where there's a sun again. Sorry. Where going back to how it was when I was in high school, I dreaded reading. So the Bible, being a beautiful book which I've always adored and loved, has now in some way become an enemy to me. Not an enemy like I hate it, but an enemy like something that I have to fight to be able to understand. I have to fight to be able to grasp it, and it gets irritating, it gets frustrating, and I find myself lately, man, just like yo, forget it, man. Like, I'll just watch a video on it, or I will just talk to some dudes about it, and we'll get deep into understanding that way. And it's not that I'm not trying to seek out on my own. It's not that I'm not trying to, read by myself or whatnot. It's just that, it's just getting more and more frustrating because I just can't seem to focus, man. Sorry. I just can't seem to line my mind up and my eyes up where they need to be lined up so I can dig in. It's just getting harder and harder. Like the other day I was at work, and this is actually a beautiful example. I was at work and it was quiet. It was just me. Nothing was happening at work, and I had a chance really to get into the text, and I'm getting into the text, and I'm 2 paragraphs in, and I promise you, the 4th paragraph became the 2nd paragraph, and then the last paragraph, somehow, some way, my right eye saw that, and I shut up to the 1st paragraph, and it was just like it was in chunks. Usually, I'm used to it being in maybe a sentence or two, a word or two, a sentence or two. No, this is now paragraphs shifting and jumping and moving around, and to the point where I just was like, yo, I'm good. And I just closed the Bible up, and I just kind of slid to the side, and I ended up YouTubing what I was reading, and then just watched a video on it. And praise God for YouTube, man. I'm not bashing that. Praise God for YouTube. The Lord uses it. It's definitely helping me out a lot. And then praise God for Wrath and Grace and the podcast they have, and conversations and questions, things like that. Just a lot. You can grasp a lot from that. I don't like the fact that it's becoming my go-to. Not Wrath and Grace, just in videos in general, are becoming my go-to for biblical knowledge and understanding. But it's just sad that that's kind of where I'm at right now, because I am so, I don't even know the word, man, for real. Like, I am so overwhelmed in my mind that I just cannot focus. And there's so much going on in my head at one time that is preventing me to be able to sit down, sit still, and soak in the beauty of what God is trying to say through his word. And it's not just the Bible, right? Just to keep it one with you, it's reading anything, man. Like I find myself skimming through stuff, man. You know what I mean? Like skimming through paragraphs. And that's cool, I guess, to get it, quickly, but I'm doing it so much that I miss important words or phrases, and then I post it, and I'm looking like an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what are you talking about, bro? Like, this is, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I missed that. Oh. And it's not that I'm not trying. It's not that I don't want to do right, blah, blah, blah. It's just that it's a struggle for me, man. So my prayer is, I've rambled long enough, sorry. My prayer is, one, help me, pray for me as I'm going through this. And by the way, I want to say this real quick. I know my guy Michael and other cats and my man Shane and all of them. I love them dudes, man. They make crack jokes, whatever. If my grammar's off on a post or or if I misspell something, I don't take offense to that. Not one bit. I'm not mad. I'm like, how dare you? No, I really don't take offense to that. It's funny, man. It is what it is. If I mess up, I mess up. You know what I mean? I'm man enough to admit, I messed up. And when a cat says, that was supposed to be 2 as in TOO, for instance, and they put it on post, or they open do it, or they privately do it, it's whatever to me. I just say, good looking at it. And when I say thank you, appreciate that, I'm really dead serious about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm really thanking them for that. I'm not being sarcastic. And I just edit it. I just fix the problem. You know what I'm saying? It's not an issue for me. I don't take that offensively when someone corrects me in that manner. But I do ask for y'all's prayer in that, as my wife and I, we are praying and we're fighting this here. And I pray that if you know anybody or any thing I can do to be better at this or to overcome this or whatnot, please feel free to hit me up here on YouTube or on Facebook, wherever, man. Just help your boy out, man. I'm dead serious with it. I'm not playing. But yeah, man, just keep us in prayer, man, as we fight through this. And it's funny, I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel as I use the word fight, I use the word going through. It's like I kind of almost feel like I'm being petty, you know what I mean? Because it's like there's cats who are really going through some serious issues, some serious stuff, right? Death in their families and work loss and whatever, you know what I'm saying? Then here I come with, my thing talking about letters jumping around. So I feel like, I don't know, I kind of feel like I shouldn't, I don't have any right to put this in a category of struggle or put a category of pray for me or put, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I don't know if that makes any sense or not. But nevertheless, man, I do ask for y'all's prayer. That's it really. And pray for not just myself, but anybody else going through ADHD, dyslexia, ADHD, dyslexia, OCD, the whole nine. Oh, I didn't even touch on OCD. Real quick, with my OCD, I guess is a little bit different. I don't know if what I've been hearing from people that mine is different than others. Most people with OCD don't like to touch. I am a very touchy person. I touch things all the time. My wife would tell you. I'm snapping. I'm always touching something. And then I have to do things in a certain way, certain order. That's annoying to my wife, and I know she hates it. And I do apologize to her for it, but it is what it is. I have to have the lotion when I got the shower, for instance. The lotion has to be in a certain place on the counter. My deodorant has to be right next to that. So it has to be in order. I have to have things in order. It's a certain order, and it has to be that way. If not, literally my whole day is off. My whole day is literally off. My morning is off. I could have an hour before I gotta be at work, for instance, right? And let my lotion, no lie, let the lotion be not on my counter, but on my dresser, but on my wife's dresser, right? I'm like, where's the lotion? She's like, babe, I'll text her like, yo, where's the lotion at? And she'd be like, it's on my counter. So now I have to walk from my side to her side to get in. Our room is that big, right? But it's out of my sequence of things. So I gotta walk from my side to her side. And now I have literally wasted 20 minutes. No lie. Because my sequence is off. My order of things is off because the lotion was on that side as opposed to this side. Dead serious. And man, sorry about it. This is a long video. Sorry, I'll go into more detail later on. So sorry. This one here is 12. Goodness gracious, long video. Please forgive me. But please keep me in prayer for things that I asked for, and others as well, because this is definitely a situation that many go through. Love y'all, man. Grace and peace.